Hello and welcome to the March episode of the Habitat Home Show. We have a great episode lined up for you today. We'll be speaking with Marcia Martin, our Family Services Coordinator. We'll have a volunteer interview with Rick Willis Jr., our former board president and the current president of Catch the Building Spirit, a wonderful partner with Habitat that works on a house each year. We'll also be focusing on some of the great items we have in our restore at 115 West Riverview Avenue. And we'll take a look in at what's happening on the 213 Edison Street build that we have currently going on. And finally, we'll wrap up with another segment of Norm's Know-How. He'll be working on some flooring in one of our current builds, actually. And he's going to show you how easy it actually is to install your own flooring in your home. So, to begin with, I'd like to introduce Marcia Martin, our Family Services Coordinator. Thank you for joining us today, Marcia.
Thanks for asking me back.
Yeah, no problem. And this is not your maiden voyage, is it? You were here on our second episode, I believe it was?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, excellent. So, Marcia, we're here to talk about a little bit, just you, essentially. And we talked and we interviewed you when we were talking about your actual position as the Family Services Coordinator.
Right.
But you have a much richer history than that before coming to Habitat, don't you? Can you tell me a little bit about what you did before Habitat?
I started off as a gospel singer, and then I transitioned to an R&B singer where I opened up for different acts. And I did that for many years. Tried other jobs like locksmithing and, locksmithing.
I did not know that one.
And I did seamstress.
Okay.
And I think as of late, I was still singing.
Yeah.
Singing R&B.
So the stage isn't anything new to you. You're comfortable up here, huh?
Well, most of the time. It's easier to sing than it is to just talk.
Okay, gotcha. And who did you sing with? Tell me a little bit more about that and some of the people you got to perform with.
Oh gosh, I sung with a lot of different groups around Dayton. I think the first group that took off, I had siblings who had a group called Gospel Martinettes. Okay. And I sung with them. I was one of the youngest ones, so I sung with them. The last group, I think another group called Pleasure Plus Joy, Bad, Life. I opened up for acts like Roger and Zapp. Okay. Opened up for Dad's Band, and I shared the stage with Dennis Edwards, the former lead singer of The Temptations.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Holy cow.
And as well as travel a little bit.
That's amazing. You know, that's pretty interesting to hear. You know, I know Dayton has a very rich musical history and background, and you're kind of in the middle of a lot of that, huh?
Well, just about every musician. I've done either some studio work or worked with them on stage as well.
Okay. Do you still sing to this day?
Not as much.
No?
Habitat takes up all my time. No.
You can sing for us.
Well, maybe one day.
Yeah, sure. Well, you've actually sang with, was it a partner family at a dedication?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I sure did. I sung, open up for one of the dedications while we were waiting. I just went ahead and did a song just to keep the mood light.
Sure. And nobody left, so we can attest that you're a very good singer, right? Well, how does that, you know, that prior career, especially with the entertainment business, how has that transferred over, or has it transferred over to what you do at Habitat?
It keeps me open to people. You know, okay. Being in music or being on the stage, you have to be open to relate to people, and that developed my people skills. So even though when people come in, if I don't know them, it's like I know no strangers. Mm-hmm. They come in and we just start talking. If they open up the door, I'm in there. We're talking about everything, and it makes them comfortable. Mm-hmm. So they can ask me questions, you know, that they normally wouldn't ask because they were afraid to ask.
Sure. And as you're the first person most people see when they walk in, so that's important to be open.
Right. Just keep them happy when they come in. Let them see that, you know, we're not ogres in here. We work very hard, but yet we here to please you. Mm-hmm. So when they come in and come to my desk, and I greet them with a smile and ask them how they're doing, and it keeps it going.
Mm-hmm. And does that help in your role as the Family Services Coordinator, also of working with our partner families?
I am very shocked at how open people are to me sometimes. I mean, sometimes I learn more than I want to, but it's good because it helps me understand where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. And then I can relate that to the rest of my coworkers who works with the family, so they can understand what this family has been through, because they usually tell me their stories.
So that kind of speaks to the fact that Habitat isn't about building homes.
No.
It's more about the relationship with the partner
It's
families.
the relationships, yeah.
Right.
I always make a joke at the end of every dedication, when's the barbecue? You know, and they always invite me, but, you know, I'm just doing it for a joke, you know, but they still invite me. So.
Do you have any stories like that particularly stick out in your head from over the years? I mean, you've been with Habitat for 4 years?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years of working with the partner families, and something that just sticks out as one of those moments that that really stick with you and you won't forget.
Oh gosh, probably the LaTanya story. I was very close to LaTanya, and it was by accident. She came to do her sweat equity at when we were on Linden Avenue, and then right next door we had a Mexican restaurant. So we went next door and talked, and she just opened up. She's opened up so freely. I learned things from her that I don't think she would have shared with anyone else. And then seeing her at the dedication, you know, and how she opened up and told even more than I knew that she probably would have told anyone else. And I learned more there. And I think it's probably that prior relationship, that first relationship she and I had, she felt comfortable enough to share. So, yeah, that's probably the one. And she had everyone crying, so.
Which happens a lot. I know we talk about a partner family every staff meeting on Tuesdays.
Right.
And that's been a real eye-opener for me. I know working on the development side is really finding out more about the partner families. And a lot of that comes from what Family Services and yourself and Dave do in the Family Services Department to bring those stories to us, so we really understand the whole family and what we're doing to help them, correct?
Correct. We initially, when we try to get our bios, people are holding back. They tell what's safe. And it's not until we actually have those extra conversations that we learn the meat of how they end up coming to us. And a lot of the stories aren't pretty.
Right.
They're not pretty at all. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has challenges, and
Some challenges are worse than others. Yeah.
but let me ask you, what made you come to Habitat? Was it you needed a job, you're tired of singing, or was there something that drew you to Habitat?
Well, I had worked with a social service agency for 15 years until they closed the doors, and I was unemployed for a while. And then I remember working at YouthWorks, crazy. And then, then I got a call from a lady I had worked with before who was working here as the director, development director.
Okay.
And she said, they're looking for someone. I said, okay, well, she told me that day, and within a half an hour I got a call from Gail Basine. I said, well, can you come in and interview? I said, yeah, sure. I wasn't expecting that soon. So I went in and interviewed, and then Diane said, let's hire her. And I was okay. But it's where God put me where he wanted me to be, because since I've been here, it's been like family. Yeah, it's like a big family to me.
Yeah, we do have a pretty good, close culture.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I know we like to joke around at different times.
That's what makes it worth coming to work. I'm telling you, the jokes, the fun, the laughter. It's not just head down, work, work, work.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. How has your position changed over these 4 years, when you originally started with Habitat, and what it looks like now?
I think in the beginning, I was still learning my job. I was learning what to do. I have more freedom now to go out and actually recruit. I just went to a seminar not too long ago where I was actually there to network. I learned about other agencies, bringing back information I could actually pass on to the partner families.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
It's being able to be mobile. I'm more mobile now.
Gotcha. Wow, that's interesting. And so, like, you're actually out recruiting partner families to come to the program,
Yes.
and then apply for home ownership.
Just more or less
essentially.
telling them what I didn't know. I almost applied for Habitat when I was looking for a house, but not knowing, having enough information and being afraid to come over it and find out what the information was. Now I can actually take it out to the public. I can tell people who want to come but are afraid to come. I can tell them, don't be afraid. This is what's going on. It's a good program, and I think from at least 5 places I've been through, at least 4 or 5 people have come.
Well, cool. Well, again, thank you for your time this afternoon. We'll wrap this up. I mean, I think people don't understand that the Family Services Department is the meat and potatoes of the Habitat program, or it's at least the most essential part to us serving our families, because
Yes.
it's not only the building of a house, it's really finding those partner families, working with them, building that relationship, and helping them through the process so that when they sign the mortgage, they're prepared to be a homeowner in our region.
That's what we do. We more or less bring them in, take them by the hand, and we just kind of guide them through the program. And at the end, we're turning them loose with the keys, but still, we're there for them when they need us.
Well, again, thank you so much for joining us this
Thank you for having
afternoon.
me
And
over.
look forward to seeing you in the office.
Yes, singing.
Yeah, singing, of course. Look for her latest album on YouTube. Yeah. Well, that was an informative interview with Marsha Martin for me. I hope it was for you also. There were a couple things in there that I didn't even know, and I've worked with her for 3 years. So next up, we're going to go out of the studio, and we're going to have Ashley Reeves, our volunteer coordinator, interview one of our very dedicated volunteers, Rick Willis. He's our former board chair. He is still a board member, but more importantly, he is also the leader or president of Catch the Building Spirit, which is a Catholic and Presbyterian partnership that works together with all their local parishes to raise the funds and actually provide the leadership for one of our Habitat homes each year.
All right, welcome to our March edition of our Volunteer Spotlight. I'm Ashley Reeves, the Volunteer Services Coordinator for Habitat for Humanity of Greater Dayton. And today I'm joined by Rick Willis, our chairman of our Field Operations Committee here at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Dayton. So thank you, Rick, for joining us today.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
I appreciate you being here. We are excited to have you for our Volunteer Spotlight for March. So today we really just wanted to touch base with you and just kind of, run through how you volunteered here at for Habitat. So, what really drew you to volunteer for Habitat first?
Well, my initial involvement with Habitat, I like to build, and many years ago when I heard of houses being built throughout Montgomery County, I threw my name in a pot and showed up on a build site and went from there. And then shortly thereafter, my church got involved with Catch the Building Spirit, and that drew me closer into the Habitat mission because Catch the Building Spirit's mission and Habitat's parallel. And so with that said, we build a house with Habitat for Humanity of Greater Dayton every year, and that really pushed me into getting involved on the board and now field ops.
Okay, so you are our past board president. You were on our board. You're still on our board.
Correct.
But you went from working with CTBS on a build site to getting on the board. So what kind of were you first interested in joining the board for Habitat for Humanity? What was your draw there? What were you hoping to achieve by joining the board for Habitat?
I think understanding the mechanics of Habitat, in other words, understanding what it is to be a volunteer, what it is to build a house, what's involved, allowed me down here at Ground Zero to really move up onto the board and be more involved on the governing decisions that help promote the mission and what we're trying to do in Montgomery County. And gave me a really good learning sense about what the mission is and how it does impact lives.
Okay, that's awesome. And I know you're still on the board.
Correct.
So you still, find that passion to still be on the governing board for Habitat for Humanity.
Absolutely.
So that you can see all of that. And then you joined our Field Operations Committee. You're the chairman for that.
Yes.
So kind of let our audience know what that entails.
Well, the Field Operations Committee involves the guidelines for the houses themselves as well as the sites that we purchase. And as an architect, I've been very much involved with redesigning our houses to comply with international guidelines, but more uniquely that our houses are very cohesive with the neighborhoods that we go into. We don't customize them, we make them blend in, which makes our houses very aesthetically pleasing. And then more importantly, our committee, the Field Operations Committee, has been instrumental in making our houses Energy Star efficient, which gives our families benefits of lower utility bills. So it's all been great accomplishments with the board.
Yes, and I think you kind of highlight just the different aspects of how you can volunteer with Habitat. I think, that was one of the reasons we really wanted to get you on our Habitat Home Show, starting out with CTBS, working on the build sites, and then coming on as, part of the board and then joining the Field Operations Committee, but you're still working with CTBS even as a volunteer or a house leader.
Yes.
With that group. So, I think, it's really important for our viewership to understand that there are different aspects of how you can volunteer with
Absolutely.
Habitat for Humanity. I know we're always looking for, additional volunteers to join our various committees and, bring their skill sets to our committees so that we can have, these great committees that can come together, make these decisions, work with the board, work with staff members here. So I know that you have definitely been instrumental in kind of wrapping that all together, because you've been through so many different aspects of that. Do you feel that your career as an architect, has definitely benefited us, or how has that helped you in all your aspects of how you have volunteered with Habitat? Do you feel that kind of has had a...
Yeah, I think that contribution just really makes our houses unique. When I say unique, they are very cohesive with the neighborhoods we go in. It's something I'm proud of. I'm also proud of the fact that our houses are a standout, that when you go down the street, you can identify this is a Habitat house, the quality of materials, the aesthetic, how it blends in, the landscaping. And I think it was really a joint effort from the whole committee, as well as other volunteers that were very passionate about that type of mission also. So it's been very much a joint effort.
Okay. I think that is great. I mean, I know, I was talking to Norm just about our build that's almost finished in Summerdale and why it needed to have brick on it, and he was kind of going through that whole, explanation of that, and I found that to be incredibly interesting, just because I didn't know that all the aspects that went into it, and how, how many volunteers kind of contribute to the decisions that are made.
Absolutely.
In, starting a new build site for one of our partner families. So I have found that to be very interesting. I know with CTBS, you get that, grounded kind of volunteer experience working with that group, building a home for a partner family. Would you describe that as maybe the most gratifying kind of volunteer position that you've had here with Habitat?
That component alone I'll do as long as God gives me the strength to do it. There's something about, first of all, meeting the family, which we get the opportunity to do before we break ground, catch a building spirit. We have a groundbreaking ceremony that is basically second to none. We have 50, 60, 70 people show up. We have the grounds blessed. And as a group, because we have worked well together now for 24 years, we literally construct the entire house, frame it, window, roof in 1 week. And we encourage the family to be with us. And what's really gratifying is seeing the family, seeing the children that first day, pounding that first nail in, and it brings tears to everybody's eyes. So it's awesome. It's the best way I can say it. It's second to none, and that's what draws me in every year. I look forward to it every year.
I watched the CTBS video when I first started here, and it was just amazing. I mean, from start to finish, it's a 5-minute video, but you could just feel everyone's passion for volunteering with that, with the group and helping out the partner family and everything like that. So, I think that is amazing, and we are so lucky to have you as a volunteer in so many different aspects. So again, Rick, I thank you for joining us today. And thank you for continuing to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you especially, Rick. We appreciate all the volunteering you do for Habitat, not only in leadership, but also on the build sites. Next up, we want to focus on some of the things that we have in our Restore that are available for the public. I want to remind you that you're always welcome to donate new or gently used furniture and appliances, as well as materials to our Restore. You can donate those or schedule a pickup by calling 222-2296 or visiting our website at www.daytonhabitat.org and clicking on the Restore button, and it'll schedule, or it'll send you to a website that'll actually schedule your pickup. Today's items that we want to focus on are cabinets, which we have a ton of cabinets. They're one of the hottest items we have in our Restore. We get them very regularly. So if you're actually redoing a kitchen or thinking about redoing a certain part or another kitchen, please come to the Restore, check out the deals we have on cabinets. You can also donate old cabinets if you're getting new ones to our Restore by going to the website or calling. Another item that has been very helpful for us as we use these funds to build houses in the community are double ovens. We've gotten quite a few brand new double ovens in, and you can find out their pricing by visiting us. Our store hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. If you visit the Restore, there's also plenty of lighting. We get brand new lighting sometimes and some used lighting that we have at very discounted prices. Again, going back to the brand new items, we have a mixed array of brand new refrigerators. Some of them are built into your cabinets. Some of them are just your normal stainless steel refrigerators. We also have used refrigerators. They're all in great condition. We've checked them out, we've tested them, and we have them for sale in the Restore. Another great item that we've just gotten in are some brand new tubs or bathroom tubs, bathtubs, I suppose, that were donated through Marksant Labs. They actually had a bunch of Lowe's items that they used to develop some software that would showcase these items, and then they donated to the Habitat Restore. Another hot item we have in the Restore right now, we have brand new TV stands, entertainment centers, some might call them. There's 5 different varieties, and you can get them for $69.95, so quite the deal on that. And our last item for today is the variety of windows we have. We have new and used windows, and they fit just about any size of window opening. So please feel free to come visit us. Again, we're located at 115 West Riverview Avenue, and you can come stop in anytime between 9 and 5, Tuesdays through Fridays, or 9 and 3 on Saturdays. On our focus on the build sites right now, we started out with 213 Edison Street last month, and we're going to continue in that build. We've come a little bit further. 213 Edison Street has now been fully enclosed, fully framed. The roof is on. They were actually working on putting the shingles down or laying the tar paper. When I was out there earlier today, they've worked on getting the outside ready for siding. This house will be bought by Remedios Lopez. She's an energetic mother of 6, so she's a single mother of 6 children. And she was born and raised in Puebla, Mexico, but she's been in Dayton for the last 14 years, working various jobs. Right now she works in the service industry. She actually came to Habitat after hearing gunshots fired outside of her children's bedroom. Remedios decided that she needed to move at that point. So when she was talking to us, she described the idea that she came to the United States to be free and safe and to have a place where her children had opportunities that she had never had. So she signed up for the Habitat Homeownership Program in 2014. She worked off all of her sweat equity hours, which is 275 sweat equity hours for a single mother, while working, not to mention, and has been through all of her partner family education classes. So we look forward to continue to work on Remedios' house on 213 Edison Street. And if you're interested in helping complete this house, please visit our website at www.daytonhabitat.org, and you can sign up to volunteer by clicking on the volunteer link. It's great to see the Edison Street build coming right along. And so once that is built, one of the products we will actually be putting into that house, you can do very simply at your own home. Norm Miozzi's going to show us how to install flooring in your own home. So this is an easy fix that I think can be intimidating to people. So he's actually going to do it at our 7258 Summerdale Drive build. He's going to, this is live action essentially on one of our builds currently. So he's going to be working with one of our job site supervisors, Tim Jordan, to install flooring into a kitchen, I do believe. So let's go to Norm. And then I'm going to do the outro then at this point. So thank you, Norm and Tim, for showing us how to do what can be a very intimidating job and showing us that it's pretty easy to do, actually. So that's our episode for today and for this month. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember, and I'm sure Norm's mentioned it, if you have any questions or if there's anything you would like to see on Norm's Know-How, please contact or email Norm's Know-How at DaytonHabitat.org, and he will answer your questions there and maybe possibly feature it on a future episode. Thank you again for joining us this month, and we look forward to seeing you next month, where we'll be looking at more of the Edison Street build, interviewing another volunteer, and have another great tip for you through Norm's Know-How. So thank you again, and we'll see you next month.
Today we're installing a luxury vinyl floor. Congolian product that has an adhesive strip on it rather than using any kind of glue or adhesive. And the floor, and what we love about it is it floats, so it actually does not attach to the surface. So what you want to do is you actually start with the front edge of the flooring. We're starting here against the doorway, and simply get it in place, mark your edges. If you have a piece of molding like we have along the side of the door, take a pencil and you can actually lay the flooring down, use the pencil to scribe right along the profile of the jamb or the trim, and then simply slide it back out of place and you can make the cut. We've already made the cut on this piece, so once you get the first piece in place, take the second piece, and as you notice, we've already scribed this piece of flooring, but simply remove the adhesive strip or the cover for the strip, take your second piece and line it up carefully. Once you get the piece placed properly, you simply press down on the adhesive strip, and that's it. Second piece, you'll want to use a full strip if you can, and I have a short piece here that we're going to use as a starter. The nice thing about this product is you actually don't waste a lot of the flooring. The Congolian product that we're using is a luxury vinyl tile, and it's extremely thick. So it's very durable and easy to work with. So you take the second piece, pull the cover back off the adhesive strip, and place it in place. It's really simple. The next piece, of course, what we're doing here is we line it up so that we keep the edges straight. Simply mark it even with the first piece you put down. Take a utility knife and, of course, a square, and then just wherever your mark is, you cut it with a utility knife, and you really just have to score the product. Once you score it, you can pick up the piece and simply snap it off. It's really easy to work with. Like I say, we actually have volunteers put this floor down for us, and it's easy enough that you can actually do it without a problem the first time you put it down. So you remove the protective strips again, and you place the second piece of flooring. So the most critical thing is just making sure that you keep the edges tight. You'll see how I roll down the edge as you go. That way you can see that seam is nice and tight. Really about the only thing that you have to pay attention to with this product is make sure you leave the protective paper on the strips. Make sure that you don't line up your joints, and just keep going until you finish.